we were talking about this off the air.
Mhm.
If you were to rack your brain, your little tiny little pea brain over there, of the one sports franchise that needs a makeover, who would you choose? Because I would like to nominate the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, you were talking about that, and because I was kind of lamenting that the Rockies just have crappy ownership, and it's such a good sports city, and it's a good ballpark. They're just wasting away. There's no juice there. And you're right. The black and purple, it's very 1990s.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. There's nothing about that city.
What is Colorado Rockies?
You could do a total refresh.
They should go
and embrace it.
I have it. They should go Broncos colors.
And then, that's the Mets. Mets are blue and orange. And they got the pinstripes.
Well, that's okay. The Mets are less orange, more blue.
Yes. They use touches of orange.
Lean into the orange.
Yeah.
Go, because,
well,
it's
even
just
the
weird.
Nuggets put out an orange uniform recently.
I know. This is what I'm like so all the Pittsburgh teams are all black and yellow, right?
Yes. I love when cities do that.
Yeah, I think Colorado should do that with the Rockies. Because it just doesn't work.
No.
What they have going on.
Well, I felt that way about a lot of the teams that came in the 90s, like the Charlotte Hornets, the Rockies, the Marlins. Like, that was it all. We've all seen either the car or the house. You walk into a house and at one point it was nice, and you look at it now and you're like, oh my God, this looks bad. And you need to kind of go through and put some new paint on it and just do a refresher course.
Like when you think of just the crappy franchises like the A's,
yeah,
they still have a good look. Like
yes.
I just feel like the A's, they shouldn't mess with that, right?
No.
Baseball, for having been around so long, it's brands, and I know the Rocky, obviously expansion team, whatever.
Sure.
But I don't know. I just feel like the brands, of all the brands in baseball, they're really the only one. Maybe the Marlins, although it's fine what they have going on.
The Marlins, though, unfortunately, they got to pick a lane and stay with it because they've changed their crap so many times.
Yeah, they have.
And the Rays went away from the Devil Rays, and now they're just the Rays.
That's a bad one, too.
So the Rockies...
I think the Rockies is the worst brand in baseball.
You're not wrong. I'm racking my brain. Although, now you're going to get into the Guardians, which I think is garbage. The Cleveland Spiders was waiting right there for him.
But it's not
going anywhere. They're the Guardians, and it's like the Commanders. They just butchered it. You had a chance, and you absolutely butchered it.
So it's the Rays, the Rockies. Maybe, the White Sox is pretty bad, but it kind of is fine for.
See, I find the White Sox, again, to be very gangster rap 1990. Like, that was really popular.
But it fits. They're still on the South Side, right?
Yeah,
right?
It is. Trust me, my daughter went there. That is a place that you are not, you don't go at night. Like, if you go to a game, you get on the train, you get the hell out of there. I think you're onto something. I think the Rockies need
the worst.
The Rockies need a teardown.
And I like the name.
Yeah.
The Rockies is a good name.
Padres underwent a change recently, looked great.
Yep.
I think the Diamondbacks do a pretty decent job.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's fine. I don't.
It's the Rays of the Rockies.
It's the Rays of the Rockies, and the Rays. I don't know. They're just a bad. That whole thing is screwed.
And then
up.
you look at the NBA, and I just feel like it's littered with bad.
Dude, that's a whole other
bad brands.
Yeah, there's just.
But baseball, I don't know. It matters more. I just think the Rockies should go blue and orange, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You know what? I will embrace.
Thank you.
I will embrace it.
They should put me in charge.
I will tell you this: a good baseball lid or a good baseball rebrand. I know lots of times I'll be at a bar and I'll be like, some guy will be wearing a Cardinals hat, and I'll be like, dude, you're a Cardinals guy? And they're like, nah, I just like the lid. Right, baseball, the baseball hat is.
Can I veto that?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I think you need to be a fan if you're going to wear it. In baseball.
In baseball.
In baseball. Baseball hats are sacred.
Yeah.
And if I see you in a Cardinals hat, particularly the Cardinals, that's a storied franchise. You better be a fan. You can't just wear the Cardinals hat.
I know people.
Have some respect.
I know people that just go, and it threw me off because he's a bar regular. And you know what he normally wears? He wears a Dodger lid. And it threw me because I saw him in the Cardinals thing, and I was like...
And he's not a Dodgers fan?
No, he's a Dodgers fan. And I was kind of like, when I saw him in the Cardinals hat, I was like, Cardinals? And he goes, I like baseball hats, and I like the lid.
Dude,
and I was like, it was a
come
good-looking lid.
There are rules with baseball hats. I don't think there are rules with NFL hats because
Anything
they don't
goes.
have any good hats.
No.
The baseball hats are a sacred thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they're just... when you see one, you just assume that person is from. Like when you're on the West Coast and you see a hat from another city out east or in the Midwest, you just assume that person's from there.
Yeah, I will say, because I wear you got me a Royals World Series hat, the one where they didn't beat the Mets.
Yes,
you sons of bitches. And
wait, you mean the one where they lost to the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have that, and it has the little World Series logo on it. Although that's falling off, and it kind of makes me sad. Whenever I wear that out and about, almost every time I wear that thing, I get someone that comes up to me and is excited, thinking that I'm from Kansas City.
Exactly.
And I always have to let them down, but I'm like, my partner, and I'm like, not my husband, my work husband. I said, he's a Kansas City guy, and that's why I support it. And even
I'm gay.
You know, the first question they always ask me, because they're so excited, where? And then I tell them Salina, and they're like,
oh my God.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
You're right. I thought about that, but you're right.
That's what baseball hats do.
The baseball hat has a pride to it.
I don't know that other sports hats have that.
Yeah.
Maybe in basketball, it's more the jersey.
Yeah.
At least the NBA.
Who wears an NBA hat? Ugh.
Yeah, not many. I mean, you see Lakers hats.
Yeah.
But and Blazers hats. I mean, you see a lot of Blazers hats around here.
Yeah. Look, the NBA gear.
Baseball is different.
Baseball is different. I'm with you.
And the NFL just doesn't. Boy, I tell you what. If the NFL wants to make even more money, because they probably do pretty well.
I think they made like $12 billion last year.
If there is a hole in the NFL's game, it is their merch. Yeah. And if they ever figured out good hat branding for each team and really promoted it, dude,
the hat brand is tough.
They would make billions. Again, they should just contact me.
Yeah.
And I can help them. I can help the poor NFL.
Well, they just need to. Every team just needs its own. Like Major League Baseball has 2 or 3 hats for each team.
Yes.
You need to just do that and just make it the 5950, the new era.
They need the baseball hat. That's
the baseball hat,
exactly.
Like this style. Yeah, it's the 5950, the new era.
And make it cool. Each one of them cool, and stick with it.
Yes,
that's all you have to do.
Problem solved.
God,
talk to us.
Such ideas.
And the Titans, dude, go back to being the Oilers. Let me just a team that needs a rebrand. I'm looking right at you because the Tennessee Titans is stupid. The Houston Oilers, which you took the name from and you own, and when you do the throwbacks, we all lose our S, and it's the best look in football. Just be the Tennessee Oilers. I'll tell you what, there's no Jazz in Utah. It works. There's no Titans in Tennessee. Be the Oilers. Go back to the old Warren Moon uniforms, and instantly you become one of the most popular branded teams in the NFL. There, I solved that problem too.